Hi, Facebook. We're live again at the Phoenix Business Journal. I am the managing editor, Patrick O'Grady, and we're talking this week with restaurant and small business reporter Stephen Totten. We are discussing our cover this week, which we did off a roundtable a couple weeks ago with a lot of the members of the local restaurant community. And we focused on a lot of different stuff, so we won't have enough time to cover all of it today. Stephen's been writing a lot of stuff online this week about where the restaurant community is going, how the industry is expanding, what's happening next. First off, Stephen, I wanted to ask you about kind of this boom cycle that we've been in and what kind of the roundtable talked about and where we're going, because booms can only last so long.
Yes, and Arizona is very familiar with the boom cycle.
Oh, yes.
So now restaurants are a part of that, and it's from what a lot of these leaders said, it's increasingly a real estate game. So during the bust of the Great Recession, real estate was completely different, and a lot of these brokers started looking to restaurants as millennials started becoming a bigger consumer segment. They saw experience was a bigger thing, and millennials naturally eat out a lot, including myself. So
yes,
restaurants.
I'm not one, and I don't eat out a lot. So
as one of them, I can tell you, yes, we do. We eat out a lot, and so these restaurants started popping up like crazy, and some of them saw an advantage and got in on the ground floor when there wasn't a lot of local hip kind of concepts, and now we're seeing them all over the place.
How much of I know when we talked to them, how much of it was the real estate crash, and they could get real estate dirt cheap at like that 2009 to 2012 range?
I mean, that was definitely a huge part, and that was before the whole adaptive reuse thing was in vogue, and so they saw these pretty crappy buildings falling apart, and they said, that place looks cool, I'm going to open a restaurant in it, and a broker's probably said, go for it. If I can make some money off this old building that I think is going to fall apart, then by all means. Now, if you don't have an adaptive reuse space, you're not in the cool crowd.
You're not hip.
You're not hip. No.
Can't be hip.
Mm-mm.
Which we're going to talk about retail in that next, actually in 3 weeks, in July.
Yeah.
So another thing we talked about, because I live over in the West Valley where we have a dearth of these hip new restaurants, is why the local chains, and when we're talking about local chains, we're talking about groups like Upward Projects, some of those kind of industry players. Why do they go where they go? I mean, what's their rationale, and what do they look at?
As far as some of these, I guess we call them destination restaurants. So like Postino, like Upward Projects does, the VIG, like Genuine Concepts does, Phoenix Public Market Cafe, those kind of places. A lot of them will tell you that it's because of the demographics and the community. They think that they have a good customer base there who is fairly affluent, who dines out a lot, so they're probably skew on the younger side. And so you've seen a lot of these restaurants open up in, of course, downtown Scottsdale.
Of course.
Arcadia is always a hot ticket.
Oh, yeah.
The Biltmore area. And then within the past few years, both downtown Gilbert and uptown Phoenix along 7th Street those are both really the hot ticket items right now.
Yes, and one thing I noticed missing from that was anything West Valley related. And you have something online today, I believe, about that.
Yes, we've gotten some hot responses because from what we heard at the roundtable, it doesn't sound like any of these restaurateurs have plans to open them in the West Valley. And I know that is not your favorite thing to hear.
No.
But
I do like to eat, even if I don't go out often.
Yeah, you and everyone else likes to eat. But from what it sounds like, Sam Fox really has a lot of pull with what he thinks it does.
Yeah. What happened with Sam Fox that did this? Because this is we suspected this, but this is actually kind of what people said.
Yeah, it's very funny because we've discussed this several times. So Sam Fox, he's arguably one of Arizona's biggest, if not the biggest, restaurateur.
Certainly most well known.
Sure. So he had a location for it was a North, right?
Yeah.
He had a North Italia in the Arrowhead area.
Mm-hmm.
And then it closed down in like 2011 or so.
Yeah, sort of right after the recession really kind of bottomed out.
Yeah, exactly. And so he said it was because he was opening another location somewhere else. But that was apparently a sign to a lot of other restaurateurs that, it's not, you can't have a successful local concept in the West Valley. And since then, Phoenix has increasingly become an attractive market for development and definitely for restaurants. There's been several times when it's been rated as one of the top markets for quick service or fast casual development. So naturally, a lot of these national restaurant chains looked for affordable areas to go, and naturally they went toward the West Valley.
Yes.
Now, because you have places like Blaze Pizza, even Stevens, Habit Burger, a lot of these popular national chains in the West Valley, the rent is apparently too damn high for these local restaurateurs. And that's what they're saying when we talked with Scott Kilpatrick, who owns Sauce, at the round table. He said himself, he's like, we have looked at the West Valley, and now because fast casual pizza is so in vogue, they're not going to open there because the rent's too high for them.
Yep, definitely. They're everywhere now.
So we're probably not going to be seeing as much of this local destination restaurant development that we have in the past 5 or 6 years. We may still see some, but not as high of a rapid pace. But I would guess we're going to be seeing a lot more national and out-of-state brands coming in.
Is it because of people are seeing that now that the economy's pretty much recovered, that Phoenix is that great landing spot to try out new trends? It always was before the recession. We always got some of the new restaurants out of, say, like Denver or anywhere else, but we're getting back into that now.
Oh, you bet. They'll always say, well, we have such a huge mix of people because it's a lot of transplants. There was these, isn't Maricopa's like the fastest growing?
Yeah, one of them, yeah.
Yeah, it's something like 200 people move here a day.
Yeah.
There's the growing tech community. There's all these really hot, buzzwordy kind of news pieces that developers and restaurants see, and they go, I should get in on that. So yeah, we're definitely going to be seeing a lot more of these national chains come in and test the market, bring a bunch more of their locations here, probably grow to scale. We'll probably hear a lot more of, we're going to open 50 restaurants here, and that whole thing. We're going to see a lot more of that.
All right. Well, cool. Well, again, we just spent a few minutes talking about it. If you haven't had a chance to pick this up, it's got a lot more stuff to talk about. And Stephen has written a lot more stuff that's online, detailing out kind of what we had conversations with all the restaurant industry officials. So again, thanks a lot. Another Friday. Hope you guys all have a 4th of July, and we'll see you next week. Bye.